My name's Duddit, set up builds and stuff. Today's video is about the buffs to the constructs. Now, we all know these got worked with grenades now, so your grenades do extra damage. And all these things like Helion, Ionic Sentry, Arc Souls, etc. But these now count as grenades for stats and perks. So weapon perks like Desperate Measures, Golden Tricorn, and Adrenaline Junkie all got buffed inadvertently as well. But Desperate Measures is probably the star of the show because this thing is absolutely amazing. It's a really good perk, but with aspects like Helion and builds that include Arc Souls, things like that, Briar Bands, going to be even better. And Golden Tricorn is another really good one because this is going to get a ×2, which is a 50% damage buff to your weapons quite often now. It's really good. So, we all know about this. The following Warlock constructs now count as grenades for stats and perks, including all of them things listed. Now, Desperate Measures is a really good one. Weapon final blows grant bonus damage for an improved duration. Melee and grenade final blows grant a larger damage bonus. So, you can see the stats there. It goes up to 20% at ×2. ×3 is 30% weapon damage with perks. So, as it works, Desperate Measures, it's not a new perk, so I'm not going to spend too much on it explaining it. Get a kill, you're going to get ×1. Desperate Measures, 10%. It'll stay at 10% until you get a grenade or a melee kill. Now, this is where these buffs come into play, because things like Helion, if you build into your grenade stat, this obviously works with your grenades now, like we said, so you're going to get extra damage on your Helions. Things like Eunoia, there's other options as well, but things like Eunoia, Briar Bands, I like this antidote at the moment, Desperate Measures and Frame of Reference, that's like 2 damage bonus perks, both working nicely together. There's loads of other options, there's loads of weapons with Desperate Measures on, things like Elsie's Rifle, good little pulse rifle. We've also got things like Pro Memoria, very solid machine gun. It's, like I said, loads, Desperate Measures on the Midnight Coup as well. So basically, place your Helion down, that's going to activate your grenade, which is like proccing your Desperate Measures. So you'll see there, Desperate Measures ×2, ×3 with each kill from your Helion, which is great. It's going to work with things like Getaway Ice as well, obviously. I'm pretty sure it used to work before we Getaway Ice anyway, I'm not sure. But even just on Getaway Ice, Desperate Measures is an exceptional perk. Anyway, 30% damage increase on the fly, very easy to do. Like I said, there's loads and loads of other options as well, which we're going to go over in a moment. The good thing with Desperate Measures as well, it actually procs while your weapon's stirred as well, so that is just absolutely insane. Another weapon perk I really like is Adrenaline Junkie. This gives you a 33% damage increase. Adrenaline Junkie, this is great for builds like Manacle Starfire, but again, with all them construct buffs, it's going to be even better. Now, what I found out with this one, it doesn't actually work on Helion at the moment. I'm not sure if that's a bug. But obviously, again, with Getaway Artists, Blake Watcher turrets and things like that, it does work. I've tested. So you're going to be able to get a 33% damage increase on Adrenaline Junkie weapons with things like Getaway Artists. Like I said, don't work with Helion. But you've also got Osmiomancy Gloves, the turrets from the Bleak Watcher, also got the grenade buff as well, and you'll see in this bottom clip, this will actually proc Adrenaline Junkie as well. Just keep an eye on that bottom left. There you go, 33% damage increase on the fly. It's a very underrated weapon perk. I've talked about it quite a lot on my videos, but you got it on the Mercury A. Again, there's other weapons. I'm just showing you what I've got. The Word of Crota, very good hand cannon, Adrenaline Junkie Demolitionist on that. What a great combo that is. And then you've got the Call with Adrenaline Junkie as well. 33% damage increase on the Call isn't to be sniggered at. It is absolutely disgusting. Sidearm, very strong. Like Adrenaline Junkie, Desperate Measures, all work with other options as well, like Briar Bands, for example, multiple different exotics, Bleak Watchers, Osmiomancy, Helions, things like that. But for me, like up to now, I've got Golden Tricorn, show you in a minute. Desperate Measures is, like I said, the star of the show, just having that extra 30%, and like I said, it does work when Desperate Measures weapons are stirred away as well, so you don't even have to have your weapon out, which is just nuts. So you can imagine the damage increases you're going to get with like Helion and Getaway Ice, things like that. Now finally, Golden Tricorn. Final blows with this weapon grant bonus damage for an improved duration. While this buff is active, grenade melee final blows of the same damage type greatly improve its damage for increased duration. While Golden Tricorn ×1 or ×2 is active. So basically, once you've got a ×1, you're going to get 15%. And when ×1 or ×2 is active, if you get a grenade or an elemental melee kill matching the element of the weapon type, you're going to get up to 50%. Now, Golden Tricorn, it is good if you can build into it, but it is quite restrictive. So if you're running Helion, for example, that's going to count as a solar grenade. You need to run a solar weapon. So it is quite restrictive, but if you've got a solar arc or void weapon with Golden Tricorn on, you can take advantage of it via them buffs to constructs. So in this clip, I'm just running Helion and Golden Tricorn with the abortive pulse rifle. And you can see there I've got the 50% up pretty consistently. But that pretty much wraps up the video. I'm going to leave a link from Like GG with all the roles with Adrenaline Junkie, Desperate Measures, and Golden Tricorn weapons. I'll leave separate links for them in the video description. Let me know what you think of this video. It opens up a lot of build opportunities, and it's free damage with Desperate Measures. That's definitely the star of the show. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.